Welcome to day 4 of our Hunkydory week of Webisodes, and today we have something bright and shiny that you're going to love.
We have 50 shades of Ombre Mirri, and it's going to make spectacular results.
And wait till you see what the design team has done. And by the way, you can use this with everything that you have.
Come play with us.
Well, we promised you bright and shiny. What do you think?
Absolutely beautiful. I want to pick it up so you can look at that. It was just sort of well, I don't know what you call it. Just beautiful is what it is.
Well, each shade has the ombre look, so you can see as this is going from green to purple, and just beautiful.
And it's got that beautiful Hunkydory Mirri finish, which is almost a mirror. I mean, it's just beautiful.
And these are cardstock. You can hear me flicking it.
Right.
There are 50 sheets. They are all different. No two are the same.
That's right. Several have similar hues, so you can really get just the right color for whatever you already have in your stash to mix and match with.
Okay, so we're going to slide this and start with the projects, and we're going to begin with the scrapbook page. And I have to tell you, I saw this sitting on Debbie's desk, and I thought, wow, how did she get that ombre look? And then found out this is what she was working on.
Right.
So just beautiful, cut into those 1-inch strips.
I love that. Now it's A4 size, so that means 11 3/4 just about.
Yeah.
By I can't remember what, 8 1/4 I think. And it's just gorgeous. So it doesn't go all the way to the edge. It's not 12-inch, but it's not necessary.
Yeah.
And I love that she chose one piece of cardstock to mount those strips on, and it's just a beautiful background.
Just really, really pretty. We'll back up a little bit, and you can see this is on the seashore, seaside papers. And I like even the little corners here. Because they look so metallic, that just is a nice, going to your title.
I agree, and you know that looks like little pieces that were cut, but it's not. Very easy, just one strip with a little banner set on top of it, so you've got those little pieces poking out.
And backing dazzles, or backing the cutting die. Now we've used the seashells cutting die so you can see, and look at how beautiful those are.
Isn't that amazing?
And placing them so that you're going to pick up the ombre look.
Right, the 2 different colors on one. I just love that. And it's so easy. You've got one of those die cuts. You just glue it in place anywhere you want on that Mirri cardstock, and then just cut around it. And while that's pretty easy, I think it's even more easy to use a dazzle, because you don't have to glue it in place. That's just going to stick in place. Lift it up, place it wherever you want on that Mirri cardstock, and then just cut around the edge. So you've got a couple of different options and some really beautiful looks.
So using it as backing is an option we're giving you. So we're going to move on. Now, we talked about cutting dies, but here is a more solid cutting die, and this is the Botanical Blooms. It has a stamp set that matches it, but look how pretty it is here.
And I love that graduated color. You've got that very pale metallic pink up at the top, all the way down to a kind of a green-gray at the bottom. Just beautiful.
Very pretty.
And the most simple use of those die cuts, because you've got, all you have to do is cut the one like this, and then you cut the 2 shadow pieces, and these were actually foam taped behind that flower, so you get just a little bit of separation, a little bit of a shadow, and that's a great look.
Of course, those are part of the cutting die, those solid shapes that go behind.
That's right, the shadow pieces. But I need to point out something. When using these in your die cutting machine, I want to point out this little, see that little bump right there?
Yeah, a little divot.
Something it's really easy to, I'm going to do this, to make an impression in this.
Okay.
So if you do that, you've got an impression. And I'll point out that the way this one happened in this flower is that you have these little pieces that come out of your other cutting dies. So, you know, you're cutting out all kinds of things with your die cuts, your cutting dies. And then if those get in there, in between your sandwich, and one of them was sort of accidentally sitting on there, then when it gets pressed through, it leaves this little divot. Now, if you get that, you can probably take it out with like a bone folder, something like that. I've done that before, just sort of.
Did you do it on the back side of the paper?
I've done it both.
Okay.
I do a little bit both. You can do it on the front, you can do it on the back. and just sort of play with it until you can at least get the edges to go away. But it's something, just make sure your plates are clean before you start die cutting.
Tidy up, huh?
Yeah.
Also on this card, this is the painted lace paper, just want to give you that. And the black jewel border dazzles just really make a nice edge. And you can see that the card greeting dazzles on the Mirri paper is just really striking, so just really nice. On the inside of our card, another strip, more border and more of the greetings.
And the ombre is going, you know, from left to right, a little bit darker over to lighter. So that's the effect of the ombre. It's a
very
really nice thing to use.
Okay, for another card,
okay, so for sure you've got one or two artful card kits sitting around, I'll bet.
You certainly
and
should if you don't.
And so easy to back. I love that backed frame. It sort of looks like a mirror.
And the matte also. So again, you're getting the ombre look and just using a little bit of that paper. This is with the Romantic Butterflies Artful Card Kit, one of the newest ones.
But I love it as accents.
Yes.
So just a little bit of an accent goes quite a long ways. You don't really need very much, and it's just a beautiful extra shiny bit there.
Right, and even though you're getting 50 sheets, this is a way to use them in multiple multiple adventures.
I just have to do it. You can lift the wings.
Oh, yes, you can.
There we go.
Very good. Okay, this is a center step card, as you can see. And look at the window that has been created.
So a beautiful window, and then you've got the Mirri Ombre behind it on the inside.
And then also accenting the top and the bottom. Now this was done with the windows and doors template. So this is just, you don't have to pay a lot of money for cutting dies. You can do it with the template.
Right, and you can do it over and over, no problem. And so the piece on the front of the card is just cut with the window, so you've got that window shape. And if we look close, up at the top here of the window, you've got these just thin little strips of that Mirri just glued onto there. I just thought that was a nice kind of a classic look. But for the card, I've got the card here, and I used the paper pattern from the center step card to cut that piece, that patterned paper, and then I matted it with just a little bit of that Mirri. So now you've got that Mirri on the edge, so it's a nice little border treatment around there. And then you use the shape on the template that shows you where to cut your window. So you're going to cut all the way through the front panel only, and now you've got a window to pop out. Yeah, magically. I went ahead and cut that. So now you've got that window. Now you can just put Mirri on the inside and add your window, which I'm trying to pick up, to the outside. And start playing with dazzles.
And add the Mirri, there you go, on the inside. Wow, isn't that fun?
That is, and it's so simple. That's really a simple process, and I love those brown dazzles on the copper.
Right, so it's got hooray for today, start each day with a grateful heart.
And go ahead and back your dazzles on the different colors on that Mirri. So you've got a little bit of yellow, a little bit of the copper. Beautiful.
And this is the Zen Leaves dazzle set in the brown, as you talked about. So we've done artful card kits, we've done templates. Now we're going to go into embossing folders. And this is using the Gears embossing folder, and so gorgeous. I love it.
It's a beautiful look, easy to do. We've got that embossing folder. We've gone ahead and embossed the Mirri. So now you've got that really embossed piece.
And again, you can pick your location.
Right, wherever you want that. In this one, over the whole thing, after I embossed it, I took a sanding block and I'm not going to go in circles. I kind of like the idea of going right to left because you can sort of see the line work that's done when you sand it, and you just go across the whole piece until you've got some nice sanded silvery areas. If we look close, you can see those lines going back and forth. And then you just take your scissors and go ahead and cut where you want the edges cut off. I'm looking, let's see, I think like this. What I did was I cut around this edge, going around those large gears like that.
So here we've got it finished, and then you placed it, or you actually cut the front of your card, didn't you?
I did. Well, I cut it. I cut out that piece, Then I covered my card front with another piece of Mirri, and it's like silver going into gray. And then I cut, you know, a little bit around there, like about an 1/8 inch mat right through the front of the card.
And then on the inside, there's that little piece that you cut off. Another piece of the Mirri.
And these, these were done with the double stick dazzles, double-sided.
These are the double stick greetings. And you use the glitter.
And the antique silver, I think, or maybe that's just the silver, super fine, oh gosh, silk glitter.
There you go, and rubbing that over it. It does a nice job of picking up the same shine. It
sort of matches but I really like the butterflies on there. There's something about gears and butterflies.
I thought that was really an interesting combination. I really like that, and that's the silver jewel dazzles. So,
and you've seen us do this before, other webisodes where we used several of those butterflies together and stuck them on there.
We're getting closer to see that. So you just take 3 of them, fold each in half,
and just stick those wings together.
And then they can go.
And it gives a nice little lift there.
Very fun. Very
fun. And if you don't want to take the time to do that, sometimes some people have a little bit hard, that much dexterity from that small. Just stick the butterflies on there. It'll still look pretty.
It'll be fine. Now we haven't done stamping, so it's about time. And look at this beauty.
So matching stamp and die sets, and
this happens to be the card flaps and borders cutting die with the decorative flaps coordinating stamp set.
And this is being embossed. It was heat embossed with white embossing powder.
Gorgeous.
And it is just beautiful on that. And this is with the Romantique papers. So really a gorgeous look.
I also like on the inside using another part of the cutting die.
Use another one and then just cut the edges off right where you want it to be finished. But let me show you how it was done on the card. So first what I did is I took my card and covered it with one of the Mirri sheets. Then I added that cutting die just right where I wanted it, about 1 inch from the bottom, to cut that off entirely. Ran that through my machine, and then be sure and tape it in place, but use just a little bit of tape, because remember when I talked about how easy it is to leave an impression on this? Even the tape will leave a little bit of an impression on the edge, just sort of a little corner there. You can see where the tape was. But you can smooth that out with a bone folder. That works pretty good. But we're going to go ahead and back out and show you. So the piece that I cut off with that cutting die, I'm actually going to place that on the inside of my card at the bottom. I'm first going to cover the inside of my card with the pink floral. But then you get this look of being opened up, almost like an envelope being opened up.
It's really pretty.
That is pretty fun, but then you want to stamp it. Oh, I also wanted to mention, when I ran this through, I didn't want any other little lines being sort of impressed onto that paper, so I put a piece of just scratch paper on top of it before I put it between my 2 sandwiched plates.
Okay.
And that helps to keep it kind of pristine without any lines going on it. But the easiest way to stamp onto that cut edge with a matching stamp is to use the MISTI, and that's what I did. I placed this in here. You can go ahead and anchor that just like so. And you've seen us do examples of the MISTI. Now, are those going to make impressions?
Before? Should you bring them maybe down here?
No, that's not going to hurt. It's not the pressure here is not like in a die cutting machine. Die cutting machine applies quite a bit of pressure. Then we can just line that up, pick up that stamp, and go ahead and stamp and then emboss with embossing powders, and you have a beautiful card.
You do. It's just lovely. So with the Mirri, you can do stamping, you can do die cutting, you can do embossing folders.
You can use it with whatever you have, like artful card kits. Or
with templates.
With templates, use it on a
scrapbooking.
Page. So much you can do with that beautiful Mirri. 50 Shades of Ombre Mirri.
And please join us tomorrow. We'll wrap up our week of webisodes. We'll see what else is new from Hunkydory.
Okay.